Hello, all you beautiful, gorgeous people, and welcome back on Path of Titans. So, with the new Baldia TLC update that came out, they completely redid the entirety of the Grand Plains and the Impact Crater, and we're just floating around in single player and camera mode, and I'm just going to kind of check it out. There's also a few other things. For example, a lot of the waystones have been moved. We also got a new one in the Savannah Grassland. They put one all the way up here in Rainbow Hills. I'm pretty sure that one's new. Yeah, it's because they removed the one in Snake Gully. We now have no waystones at all on this side of the map, except for the two in the water, one in the Kelp Forest, and one in Sanctuary Isle, which I kind of disagree with. I feel like we should still have a waystone here, because now basically the two closest waystones is either down here in the Darkwoods, which again is new. That one used to be here in Young Grove, and then the Savannah. And the fact they've just TLC'd this entire area, I kind of feel like the fact there's no nearby waystones might honestly make less people go here, which is kind of a shame. They also did move around some home caves. I don't know if these ones here are new. I know this one's always been there, but I'm not too sure if they're new. I never really bothered with home caves much, but some of them have at least been moved around, or they've had new ones placed in. And again, some other waystones and stuff have been moved around, but I think they've actually removed more, or they've just moved them all. I think the only waystone that hasn't moved is the Birchwood one and the ones in the water. The Birchwood one is not moved at all. So, we're going to go in, and there is a few other things they have also changed, but of course, we are here, as you can clearly see, Grand Plains. Like, even just this bit here, it still has the same kind of embankment, but the terrain doesn't come far up. This bit is actually way more, like, it's a bit more, it's like got these big two rock pillars, I guess you can kind of say here, instead of just being a direct open walkway like all the way up. So yeah, if you're like an aquatic, I feel like it might be maybe impossible now to actually get all the way up here into this river, which may be why they did it. Don't really know why they would do that, because that just brought more players to the area. I mean, you could still probably make it, it's just going to be a lot harder to get into the water. And yeah, they've changed a lot of the rocks and stuff as well. There's no so much as like, it's not got like a lot of ledges that it used to have. This bit as well, they've definitely changed that, so you're not going to be able to like sit here anymore and drink from above the ledge, which most servers class that as an exploit or a rule break. They've also slightly changed the little bit of river here. It was basically more or less a kind of straight bit where they put a bit of a curve in it. And yeah, I actually really like it. Like, I like a lot of the changes and stuff. I love the fact that basically all of the actual bankment is basically flat. So if you're playing as like a Sarco or a Dino or even a Capro, it's going to be a lot easier for you to lunge out and get people. But it'll also be a lot easier for people to escape because there's less hill to run up, so that's kind of good. This bit is a lot more steep. They still have kept some, like, the little lip here where you can kind of land on it with a flyer, so that's still quite good. But they basically got rid of a lot of the other thing, and I want to say I actually love the way the rocks look. I don't know if this is like new textures, but I think the rocks look freaking great. Yeah, we're examining rocks, that's where the video's got to. But yeah, and again, this bit is a lot further out than what it used to be. This bit used to basically, like, the water came like all the way up to basically like here before. So they'll give you a bit more space so you can actually walk along that a lot easier. And if you fall, you're not going to immediately land in the water, so I guess that's a bit fair. This bit is obviously a lot shorter than it used to be. This bit was always here, but this bit was like a lot higher up, and then there was a second ledge bit about here. So they've changed all that. Of course, we got loads of different trees, which I've seen a lot of people complaining about because there's a lot of pine trees. I don't really mind it. I kind of like the pine trees, but I would say I love the heavy forest. I play on a server called Crimson Realism, and on the Crimson Realism 1 server, they used a lot of mods to add a bunch of trees and stuff into this whole area. They added more bushes, more grass and stuff, and I just think it looks so much better, and I honestly love the fact that they did this. Like, this is like official, this is real, this is not a mod. I just think it's so much better. But yeah, as you can clearly see, it's a lot more different. Is that gap bigger? I don't know if it's me, but that gap looks a lot bigger. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's even all the way along here. It's even been changed. Oh, they've even changed this bit here as well. And then as it goes into the Birchwood, it kind of turns normal because, as well, they've removed the tunnel. We don't have a tunnel into Swamp Marsh anymore. We just have just a walkway, basically. And on the other side, where there was another tunnel, it's basically just a path with two big cliff faces. And I don't even know if you can get up here easily without... No, I think you need something that can jump. Nope, you can get up there. There's a little pathway there, so that's quite cool. So yeah, they've just added more vantage points. This could probably be a really good spot to hide up with, being like a raptor or like a Hatzagotrix or something. You can try and get a little a little jump on someone. But yeah, I'm kind of glad they removed the tunnel. Because as much as the tunnels were cool, I always felt like if you were in the marsh and you're a Sarco trying to get through and being like, please don't have anyone in here. Now it's going to be a lot easier, and the fact there's actual foliage now, so you can even hide. And if you've got a good skin, you might even be able to blend in with the rocks. It also just makes finding the pathway from marsh into the plains a lot easier, because they're basically right next to each other. That one takes you closer to the birchwood, that takes you actually into the plains. And there is a third path here, which I'm sure used to be a tunnel. Yep, that's a brilliant sentence. There's also a little pathway here now, so you can even get all the way up into this whole area, which actually looks quite nice. And again, this area here used to be a lot more mountainous, a lot more hilly. It's not anymore. So yeah, they got rid of all the tunnels from marsh, basically, but they've made it so much easier to see it. And I kind of like it. I don't really know... Yeah, this has to be new as well. Like, all this has to be different. I'm assuming it's different. Obviously, we're zoomed super high up, so we're not going to see a lot of the like terrain details. But yeah, this has to be all different as well, which is bringing us to here. The Desolate Pass bridge is gone, but as you'll notice on the minimap, it's still there on the map. I really hope they update that and change it, because there's another thing in the savannah, and we'll check that out a little bit later. But yeah, so you can no longer get into the Grand Plains or the Impact Crater, or even like, can you even basically get... Yeah, you'd need a swim to even get over to this area. Yeah, the White Cliffs, I forgot what it was called. But yeah, it's completely gone. No more Desolate Path Bridge. You'd need to go straight for the marsh or go into the ocean, basically. But yeah, we'll just check out Impact Crater. And, it looks glorious. Like, I love, like, all the trees have basically been stripped of their foliage. They're all actually, like, either knocked over or they're leaning. Because, I mean, that's what would happen if there was an actual, like, meteoric impact that didn't, like, you know, annihilate the entire freaking continent. But that's what it would do. Like, any trees and stuff that would survive would be stripped from the heat of the blast. They'd be all damaged, they'd be falling over, and it just looks so much better. And, of course, we actually have a big-sized crater. And I actually think that's bigger than what the pond was. At least it feels bigger. And now we actually have a proper, real freaking meteorite, which looks sick as freaking hell. And it's quite a big object as well, because if we just quickly... yeah, we quickly turn to dinosaur, you can see next to the Achillibator, this thing is pretty massive. It is like the height of a Rex. But yeah, I absolutely love this. I just think it looks so much better. And I get a lot of people have seen kind of Rex players or the Rex community complaining that, oh, they've ruined it because it's just going to be worse. Any large carnivore, right, specifically the Rex, this terrain and this foliage is ideal for you because you're going to be able to blend in so amazingly. Even if you're not a really green or brown skin, look at all these shades and all these shadows. If you were like even like the Melastic skin, and you were like, say you were crouched over there, like someone honestly might not even notice you. They might mistake you for a shadow if you're not moving. Like imagine if you're under that bit there where that tree is, like right, I can't zoom in. I'll do it on the when I'm editing the video. But if you were there, I don't really think most people would see you if you weren't moving. And again, we got some nice flowers here. One thing though I will say I am glad they kept, they have changed how it looks, but they've kept the little burrow here that you can actually get in with most small dinos. So they've kept the little burrow here, which is really good, and they've made the entrance and exits a bit more obvious for people, I think. Because I still think there's a few people that are new players might not really know that that's there, so that's really good. I'm really glad that, and I hate the fact they've kept this though. So we're still going to get those stupid goddamn flower delivery quests. I hate them, but yeah, that's still there, and you still have flowers. Well, the flowers are, I think, those big red ones that we just saw. Which are, yeah, they're there. And it's that's roughly about the same distance the old flowers were. But we still have kind of big, nice open plains area as well. I get some people saying it's not really the Grand Plains anymore, but we still do have pretty big open areas, like down here. Of course, this is also the big rock a lot of people used to climb on. You can still do it, I just don't think you will be, I'll be surprised if someone gets like an Amargasaurus up here, which on the old rock, that was a really good strat if you're playing as an Amarga and you had like a big carnivore or even a big herbivore coming for you. Get up here and just tail whip them and they will die to fall damage. Like, it was such a good strat, but so they've changed that around, but I do kind of like it. I just think it looks better. Like, overall, I think they've just massively improved how this entire area looks. But again, like, still, like, that is like a lot of big open area there. Like, it's still plains, still a lot of space, just more foliage. One thing now I'm thinking about it, because they've also done, yep, they have. I remember I saw this as well. They've actually added, this used to be a pretty small cave that you'd need to be a really small dino to get into, but they've actually added a kind of decently large cave. I get also inside the cave it's not that big, but the entrance, I'm pretty sure a Rex crouching could easily get in there. Maybe even a Spino crouching might be able to get in. Their sail would probably clip them through the roof though, but yeah, so cave there, that's honestly, and it's really obvious to see, so more people are going to actually know it's there. Which I mean, I guess if you're trying to ambush people with it, maybe it's not really going to be that good for you, but still whatever. And of course, this whole area over here has been kind of TLC'd, not as much, it's mainly just they've kind of added a bit more foliage in, the same with these pine trees, but this whole area is more or less completely open except for the extra trees. Nothing else here really has been changed, except for all the terrain here and the rocks and all that. That's a bit different. And as far as I'm aware, they haven't changed anything on this side. They've maybe, actually, I think they've maybe made the beach shorter. I don't know why that feels like there's more water here. There definitely seems like there's more water on this bit as well. But I think that's all they've changed here. I don't see any like terrain changes or anything like that. So now we're making our way over to the Savannah Grassland, to the new Waystone, which to be honest, this is an area I actually love. I stalk this area quite a lot as kind of like mid-tier carnivores. This is actually a really good spot for aloe, to be honest. Even though there's not loads of foliage to blend in with, it's like, because of the way the terrain is, you can still kind of hide a lot because it's a lot of hills. The ant hills are very good to hide behind, but now there's a Waystone here, means there's going to be a lot more foot traffic here. I just wonder on servers that have basically don't kill at a Waystone, how big are they going to kind of make the radius for this one? Because is it just going to be in like this whole like section here, or is it just going to be a small bit? So I'm kind of curious to see how some servers deal with that. But yeah, I've got a new Waystone here. Don't really think there's anything new being added here, but one thing I am going to show you, because I said as I mentioned, there is actually water here. And I thought a lot of people knew about this, but I was playing with some people like 2 days ago. They had no idea there was water here. There is a kind of decently deep pond here for like a Sarco, definitely really good for you. And if there's no water in here, you don't want to risk getting Sarcoed. These ponds, nothing can swim in these, like, and they do have like the same volume of water basically, like 100%. So that's just really easy. And one reason why I'm pointing this out, because just like the bridge here hasn't been removed on the map, the water isn't here on the minimap either. Which I really hope they update that and they actually show these, just so people know. Because I get you could say, well, it's a bit of an advantage for people that know the map, but also, if you're a new player, and say you drink salt water, and then you're dying of dehydration, and you don't really, like, know where water is, or you don't notice you're dying of dehydration, and you might not, like, you start losing health by that point, you might not survive to make it to the Hunter's Thicket, or to the hot springs, so I kind of hope they do change that. So now we're over at the Snake Gully, and this is where the old Waystone used to be. We don't have one here at all anymore, so I wonder if people will actually do something with this area, because I think you do get quite, moving away from it, I think you do get quite a nice view from here. This could maybe be a kind of pretty nest spot, to be honest. You can see like the Rainbow Hills and all that, and also you can get a completely, yeah, I'm speaking really weird today, I apologise. But yeah, you get a pretty decent view of the area. So you can see if there's any dinos down there, or this could even maybe a good spot to kind of hide and like plan an ambush, because if you're down here and say like you're like crouching up there and you're like, again, like a kilometer sized creature, depending on what dino someone's playing is, they might not even notice you. Like, you might be able to hide up there really well. And if someone's like over here, they'll probably see you, unless it's out of the render distance. And again, because we're over here, there's also a little cave down here, which, by the way, I only found out about this like a week ago. I did not know this was here. I can thank a very random friendly capo who did not kill my baby Spino on a realism server. So thank you to whoever you are. Here in Rainbow Hills, we do have a new Waystone right here. It's right on the edge of the ocean as well. But yeah, got one here, which I'm going to say Rainbow Hills is a biome I do find pretty interesting. I do find it again on the map, just for what I do find this biome pretty interesting, but I feel like no one ever comes here. Like, I never played in this biome specifically because there's no one to hunt. There's nothing here. With that waystone being here, I can see more foot traffic being here. There's also a random corpse there for anyone that's, again, a new player doesn't know. Right for the waystone if you're hungry. There's a corpse there you could eat. And the next waystone is the one in the Hoodoo Expanse. So yeah, on the map, right up here, right next to freaking the Ripple Beach, the Sand Caverns, and Steggle Mountain. And there's Steggle Mountain just for, like, comparison to how close it is. I actually don't remember where the old waystone is. I think it used to be like up here somewhere. I very rarely play on this area of the map. Like, I'll check out Big Quill and then kind of just leave if there's nothing going on here. But yeah, so they've moved the waystone. It is a bit closer to the Green Valley, so that's a plus. It's closer to Steggle Mountain, which this is an area I do hope more people venture out to because it's such a cool looking area. But like, even I don't really play here, but again, it's because it's pretty dead. And now to the final waystone we're checking out today, the one in Green Valley. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if this is new, because I'm sure the waystone in Green Valley was down in this area, but I don't know if this is the same one. I don't know if it's not been moved. But the fact that basically all other waystones have been moved, I'm going to assume that it was moved. Did it maybe used to be up here maybe? I don't know. Like, I don't really bother with the waystones most time. I'll either just travel on foot if I ever need to move somewhere, or I'll ask someone to waystone me. I'm very rarely ever at the waystones, or I'm playing on a server that allows you to teleport around the map with commands. So yeah, if this is the same one as always, then okay, at least it's not moved. But basically every other one except the Birchwood one hasn't moved. The Birchwood one's identical. It's not moved. It's the center waystone. But I do really hope they add a new waystone. Like, honestly, I think probably like in White Cliffs would still be the good spot, or even maybe down in the Triad Falls, or even if it was like over here. Like, just, I feel like maybe over here would be the best spot for a new waystone, because there's literally, like, if we just cut this whole section here, there is no way, unless you're in a full aquatic, to actually get a close waystone to this area. And to be honest, that will deter a lot of people from ever even going here. Impact Crater's not going to be a hotspot anymore with no water. And Grand Plains, honestly, with not having any nearby waystones except the Birchwood and the Darkwood, I don't really think many people are actually going to be here anymore. Like, especially on like more like official and PvP servers. On realism servers, I feel like most people are still going to flock here. I think they're going to absolutely love it. And with having no nearby waystones might also be a plus for a lot of people, because it means, well, they're not just going to have people just teleporting in and just like breaking the rules, or just coming in to just, you know, like be a dick, really. But I really hope they do add a waystone here. The only thing I can say that might be why they've not added one on this whole section, because like basically every other thing this section of the map has a waystone. So my only thought is the fact they've TLC'd this whole area, maybe they're planning to TLC this entire section of the map. And they're either giving us this little bit early because either it was finished, or this is a little teaser and they're testing the waters to see how people react, or they just were fed up with people basically abusing and just adopting Impact Crater, and because it causes so many problems with mix packs, mega packs, and just people being super toxic, maybe Alderon or the people at Path just decided, nah, let's just get rid of this. And honestly, I much prefer it actually having an actual meteorite. That's a lot cooler than just some daft little pond. So as far as I'm aware, unless I've missed anything big or major, that's all the new map changes, waystone moves and all that. Again, I don't really know about the home caves. Some might have been moved. I'm not too sure. Again, not really familiar with home caves personally. I almost never use them. But yeah, if they have been moved, then that's cool. If they haven't, then whatever, it's not a big deal. So the last thing I'm going to do now is we're just going to jump over to the Path of Titans little blog page, and I'm going to read out some of the other stuff that's changed, because they've changed a little bit stuff with the weather, some of the audio in the game. You probably maybe heard it in the background, it sounds a bit different. And there's also brand new critters they've added. This new full game patch contains loads of new systems and features as well, and we wanted to highlight some of the more interesting elements here. This patch brings a brand new audio system to Path of Titans, creating a significantly more immersive environment. Areas on the map are now split up based on their biome types and play unique soundscapes and sound cues depending on the area that you are in. There are currently a number of biomes set up on both Gondwa and Pangaea, including forests, pines, pine forests, plains, desert, beaches, and open oceans, which again, they've mentioned the original map, Pangaea, so I'm assuming these sound changes have also came to the OG old map, which is always a win. It's still an amazing map, definitely check it out if you've never played on it. Each one of these feature unique sounds, such as birds chirping, wind gusts, trees creaking, small creatures chattering, insects buzzing, and foliage rustling. These sounds will spatially surround you, playing from different directions above and below. These soundscapes also change as the sun sets, featuring completely different sounds that play during the night. Crickets, hooting birds, and frog songs will fill your dinosaur's ears and really set the mood. So yeah, a whole complete TLC as well on the ambient audio, which is always a really nice thing, but I know there will be people out there that will complain that it's now made it harder to hear dinosaurs that are stalking you. But again, that's the whole point. It's meant to be difficult. And if you're like a herbivore and you've got someone stalking you, you need to just basically be alert and aware like a real herbivorous animal or like a real dinosaur would be. You need to be alert of this stuff. But yeah, I like this, it's very cool. So on to the next thing is we have wind storms. Wind and rain is now completely separated from each other. Previously, if it was clear sky, the wind was always gentle, and if it was stormy weather, it was always very windy at the same time. The wind was always predetermined based on the weather type, making the environment feel a bit static and predictable. With this new update, wind is now more independent of weather. This means it is now possible to experience a thunderstorm with no wind at all, very interesting, or a blustery day with a clear sky. The new wind system will also play new particle effects with the branches and leaves blowing in the breeze, and wind sound effects ramping up with the intensity of the wind. So yeah, they've kind of changed how wind works in the game. Obviously, like, wind doesn't actually really affect gameplay. This is more just like an audio and environmental change, but it is something I do like. I have seen some posts on what the new storm weathers looks like, and it looks incredibly intense. Absolutely love it. Again, another big positive for the game. And the last thing we got here is the other new things. So as I was talking about the critters before, we have observant critters. So critters will now look up at dinosaurs passing by and glance back at their attackers as they flee, rotating their heads to face them. You may now notice small creatures darting around on the ground. Small mammals, lizards, spiders and insects will scatter as you near them, adding an extra layer of immersion. So yeah, most people say it's like just little rats, again lizards and the spiders, but I'm going to say, see the spiders? They're huge. Like these little spiders that are just meant to be critters that are just there for basically the environment, they're like the size of this thing that we actively can hunt for food. That is everything with the map changes and basically all the new stuff in the update. And again, if you haven't seen my Barsboldia video, I did a full video showcasing all of the new abilities, skins, animations and everything on the Barsboldia. That video was already out before this one, but it will be linked at the very end of this video. So yeah, so that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy, please remember to leave a like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm definitely going to be keeping up to date with all this stuff. I mentioned it on the Barsboldia video at the end. I'm just going to do it here as well. I just had a lot of stuff, which is why I've missed some previous updates and TLCs and that. So there's a bit of a gap between my last TLC video, like the Trike and the Rex TLC I've not covered. I just feel like it's a bit too late to go and do it now, but I'm going to definitely stay on time with this. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. So yeah, please enjoy the videos. That's all I can really ask. And if you did enjoy them, again, little like, little subscribe, it helps me out massively. And again, if there is also anything I missed, let me know, comment section below. Just tell me you missed this, blah 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 blah, or if you enjoyed the video, please maybe even say something nice. That's always good. Any comment's a good comment. So I hope you have a lovely, wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next one.